Do you find that you spend time every day on your chess, yet don't see many results for your efforts? If so, you've come to the right place. I'm Grandmaster Max Illingworth, and I'd like to share with you a brief framework of what it takes to effectively train your chess, to find that you're not just enjoying the time you spend on improving your game, but that you actually get results from it as well, so that you can enjoy your games more, you start beating some players that might currently be beating you, and having that feeling of progress and satisfaction again with your chess journey. For those who don't know me, I'm Grandmaster Max Illingworth. I am a past many-time Australian chess champion, a certified high-performance coach, a FIDE trainer, and right now my mission is to help chess improvers like you to finally get the results that you deserve with your chess. And if there is one word I could say to summarize what it takes to improve at chess, and to be fair, this kind of applies for any skill in general, but that one word would be focus. Why focus? Because focus encompasses many different things, right? Focus includes making sure you're focusing during your games, that you're paying attention to right things. It includes focusing in your training, that you're not just doing some idle, watching Twitch streams or, videos that are not relevant for you, but you're actually focusing on the things that are going to lead to the biggest improvement in your play, and very practical as such. The focus also includes making sure that, you start that space for yourself, that environment where you can succeed, taking out the distractions so that you can focus, making sure that when you are playing your games that you are in that right mental state to focus. It can include some other things as well. If you are thinking of something else I forgot, you can always put it in the comments. But yeah, basically that's the short answer of why focus is very important for improving your chess. And in terms of a particular framework for improving your chess, which is probably what you are looking for when clicking on this video, basically it comes down to what I call the 4 pillars. Previously I only had 3 pillars, but then I realized that actually 4 is required for a game as complex and as beautiful as chess. It's something I think we agree that we all love about chess, that we can always learn something more in chess. There's always something new to discover, not just about chess, but also about ourselves, right? So the 4 pillars are 1, chess mindset and psychology. And I'll explain why these pillars are important as well. The second one is learning from your games. You could extend this to learning the right lessons from your games, but I think that you get the idea. The third one is solving puzzles effectively. A lot of people know that you should solve chess puzzles, but they don't know how to do it. And the fourth thing is how to master any chess skill. So why are the 4 of these important? Well, when it comes to chess mindset psychology, I like to think of this as the amplifier for everything else that we do to improve our chess. So that means that we're not just playing, but we have, the right mindset, we have the right actions, the right intentions, the right focus, just having all of the right things set together. Because what can happen for a lot of people is that a lot of the players you see that are working hard are not necessarily working smart, or they're getting so caught up in their own head that they're just not seeing the results from the effort that they're putting in. And that might be the case for you, like maybe you're already doing some of the right things with your chess in terms of the actions, but you don't have the mindset behind it that's going to allow you to show the most of your ability, that's going to allow you to realize your actual potential. So that's something that's very important that I find is very often neglected. It's something I know that I often neglected back when I was even a professional chess player, in fact. So it's something that I will give you, clear strategies in my workshop in a couple of days' time on how you can develop this successful chess mindset and chess psychology. I'll talk more about the workshop a little bit later, but for now I just want to give you sort of really an understanding of like why these 4 pillars are important, so that whatever decision you make at the end of this video, you are going to leave it a lot more wise than you were when you first were watching it. The second key thing is learning from your games, and I feel like this is something that is where a lot of the frustration with adult chess improvement comes from, which is where you are trying different things. You are not very focused. Let's say you are trying this. Oh, it didn't work after a bit. You'll try something else. Try something else. This sort of thing, and it sort of misses the point that a lot of the problems that you're facing are simply due to a lack of awareness. And what I mean by that is that you're not aware of the mistakes that you're making in many cases. The computer might tell you, oh, you made a mistake in this position, but what exactly is the pattern behind those mistakes? That's something that's not always so easy to figure out for ourselves. Something that we might see easily if we were a coach coaching someone else making that mistake may not be obvious to us when we are doing it ourselves. And that's where having that external perspective, not just from like your circle of friends or community who maybe are not, let's say, the people who are the models you want to follow for success in chess or perhaps even in life, but having someone who has taken that journey to get to where you want to be, who has helped others get to where you want to be, that's where the magic can really happen. But it can only happen if you are receptive to it, if you come in as a empty glass or empty vessel, able to basically take in and absorb all of the different shifts that need to happen, both in the chess mindset psychology, but also in your processes. And that's why learning through games is so important, because it allows you to avoid repeating your mistakes just by being aware of the mistakes and then being able to do things differently as a result of that awareness. And then something I will go into in a lot more detail in my workshop, giving you a very clear process of how to do it specifically. The reason why I'm focusing more on like the why first rather than the how is because if I just give you the how, but you don't have a very powerful reason behind it, and this is true for your chess improvement goals in general, the results just aren't going to come. Like, you need to do the inner work first before you can see the results in your outer work. And this is also true for me as a coach, where I would not be in a position to help you in the way in which I'm helping chess players all over the world now if I not put that work into myself to continually grow and to evolve as such. So it works both ways. Like, I'm doing my bit, you need to do your bit as well in order to get the results of the processes, so that you eventually get the event, the chess improvement that you are after. The third key thing, before I talk about the third key thing, just a little reminder that if you are enjoying this video, it would be cool if you could leave a like, and also for your benefit, you can subscribe to the channel. This will allow you to see, my videos coming up in your feed. But maybe you're like me, you've subscribed to a lot of different YouTubers in the past. And if you want to make sure that you actually get my trainings, that you don't miss out on something that could potentially transform your chess journey, then you may like to click on the notification bell and then set the notifications to all. And that means that whenever I release a new video, this is why I'm doing a little bit out of schedule, because I just know that there's something that's important for a lot of you guys that needs to be shared out in the world. Well, it ensures that you're going to get it and you're not going to miss out. Cool. All right, let's get into number 3 of solving puzzles effectively. The reason it's important to solve puzzles effectively is there are a few reasons, but I'll keep it to 2 for this video. The first is that basically, if you're spending a lot of time solving puzzles, but it's only reinforcing the patterns you've already mastered and isn't helping you to form those new connections in the brain, those new types of mastery, or if we use, pedagogic theory, the different levels of, competence moving towards unconscious competence, if you're still staying at the same level, then what's the point of solving the puzzles, right? It just isn't really helping. And when you hear someone talk about, oh, I'm solving lots of puzzles every day, but my puzzle rank's going up, but my over the board is still the same, that's part of where this disconnect is coming from. And it actually leads into the second reason why it's so important to solve puzzles effectively, to do it in the right way. Because if you do it in the wrong way, and there are a lot of ways you can do this, mess this up. I've made all the mistakes are out there pretty much in terms of how not to solve puzzles. But basically what will happen is it will train bad habits. if you're solving puzzle where you're just guessing every time, the point is whatever you're going to train, the way you train is what's going to show up in your games. Like, say, for example, if you're a chess coach like me and you play friendly games against, the little kids that you're coaching at school or whatever, and you'll go, like, really easy on them and you sort of make some intentional mistakes to give them a chance to win. If you do that most of the time, that's what's going to show up in your actual games. And I realize it's a little bit of an extreme example, but I think you get the idea that the way you practice is ultimately going to determine how you play in your games. So, of course, you want to practice in a way that is going to allow you to show your best and to get the results that you are after. And it's definitely possible for you to achieve the results you're after. Like, this is part of the mindset and psychology as well, to realize that, you're not forced to follow the conventional wisdom and do things the way that everyone else is doing, that there is a better path, and that, you aren't some special case where, this doesn't apply to me, like I'm, not incapable of improving, or, I can do everything wrong and still get results. Everyone likes to think that they're the exception, but chances are you're probably not. And this is a good thing because it forces us to take responsibility for our chess improvement journey, which is what we have to do to get the best results. The fourth aspect as well, the fourth pillar of how to master any chess skill, well, this is something that I find that a lot of people approach in the wrong sort of way. What I mean by that is they basically will major in something minor. For example, let's say if you are spending 1,000 hours, let's say, like for the year, like you decide, okay, I have 1 year and in this time I'm just going to spend all my time for that year just spent on endgames. Yeah, by the end of that, you're going to be quite a good endgame player, even if you don't study endgames in a very good way. Like, say, if you just read, 10 books instead of, say, solving puzzles and practicing a lot of endgames, make it more practical. The thing is, if you're never getting to an endgame, like the only endgames you're getting to are ones where you're just clearly won or clearly lost because you have massive problems with your calculation, or you're just missing lots of tactics, or if there's no tactic in the position, you have no idea what to do in the position whatsoever, and you start making big blunders. Well, if those problems are the case, then obviously something that's going to be coming up in all of your games and is actually going to have a big impact on the result of those games is going to be more significant than something that doesn't have much influence on the result of most of your games, correct? And, this is just one example. I understand that, your situation may be a little different, which is why I'm doing this as a live workshop so that I can address those challenges in real time. I'll get into that in a second, but I think you can sort of see how with these 4 pillars that the maximum value isn't even necessarily in, knowing like what the 4 pillars are, but sort of knowing the how of how exactly do I basically get my chess mindset and psychology right so that I can make the most of my ability and really, start to love my chess more and and get that feeling of progress again with my chess, rather than, the frustration and the despair and all the other things that you might be feeling. And in terms of learning from your games, well, again, if you're just repeating the same mistakes, that's going to lead to a lot of frustration, and ultimately that ignorance of what you're doing wrong or what you need to focus on, that's just going to create this vicious cycle that I know that you don't want to be in, because, well, why put up with it when there's a much better way? And the third one of, solving the puzzles effectively, again, like you're already likely putting some effort into improving your chess, so why not just do it the right way so that you can get the results you're after and not feel like you're just wasting your time with this, or that you're fighting just to try to stay where you are rather than trying to actually move things forward. And then for how to master any chess skill, well, when we figure out what are the skills that are the most important, which are going to make the biggest influence to our results, and then we combine that with training it in the correct way, which I do cover in the workshop, then that's just going to allow you to take control of your chess journey again, where you will be able to move those levers of how much, how quickly you want to improve your chess, how quickly you want to improve specific skills. It's going to put the power back to you so that you're not going to have to be relying on paying very expensive private coaching, or, having to buy a lot of different courses and books hoping that this one will be the magic bullet and just being disappointed yet again. So now I'd like to share a little bit about how the workshop works. This workshop I'll be doing at the time of Sunday, the 30th of June, and this will be from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Again, this is the Sydney time zone, GMT plus 10. And if you are based in the Americas, that is going to actually be on the 29th in your time. So just to make that clear with the time zone so there's no confusion. But yeah, basically that's going to be when the workshop will be. It'll be a live 90-minute workshop on the topic of how to train your chess effectively. And basically it's going to go through the stuff I've talked about here, but it's going to go a lot deeper into, how to focus, into the 4 pillars of, chess mindset psychology, learning from your games, solving puzzles effectively, and how to master any chess skill. And to make sure that it's relevant specifically to you and that you are able to address any questions that you have coming up. We're also going to be doing a Q&A at the end. This is why it's a 90-minute workshop and not a 60-minute workshop. Because that 90 minutes gives me the time to do my presentation where I'm able to, share how the 4 pillars work, how to use them effectively to improve your chess at any level. And then the Q&A allows us to make it more specific for you by addressing your specific questions and resolving any challenges that you might have on your journey to getting better at chess. So that's basically the workshop, and what I'll be doing is I actually have a little early bird thing where from 9 a.m. Sydney time on the 29th of June, so basically in about, how many hours is it? Yeah, about like 16 hours from when I'm recording this this training, the price is going to go up to 200 USD. If you are based in Australia, then yeah, basically the conversion's going to be, like you can figure it out for yourself pretty easily. But yeah, basically, if you get in a bit later, like let's say if you are watching this video and, the live is, going to be in less than 24 hours, or if it's already happened, well, I will be offering that, for 200 USD. You'll be able to get in that way. However, if you are watching this and it is earlier than 9 a.m. Sydney time on Saturday, the 29th of June, then you can actually get in for half price, which will be just 100 USD. And this is an absolute bargain for you because, well, I already mentioned why these 4 pillars are so important. And if we think about, in terms of how to train your chess effectively, just think of, the hundreds of hours you're going to save in terms of, how much more effectively you're going to improve, how faster that process is going to be, meaning that, those hundreds of hours, how much you value your time, per hour is going to vary depending on, who is watching this. But I think you'd agree that saving like hundreds, potentially even thousands of hours in your lifetime on, not wasting that time on ineffective methods to improve your chess, make sure that time you spend is all being used effectively. That is very, very powerful. And also something I will mention that, let's say if you want to access this, but you're not able to make the live time that I've mentioned, because again, I realize with time zones that, for those of you who are in Europe, like the time zone is not such a great fit, perhaps. This one's definitely aimed more towards, let's say, the, people in the Americas and in Australia, Oceania and East Asia. Definitely, time is targeted more towards these time zones. But you can still access the, the workshop and be able to access the recording afterwards, where I will be selling the recording after the workshop as well. But in that case, it is going to cost 200 USD, whereas if you get it in time, it will only be 100 USD for you. So yeah, that's the story of my workshop. It's me trying something a little bit different, but just really be able to help you a lot more powerfully than, if I was going through this just one-on-one with different students, it would just be very inefficient because I would be talking about a lot of the same things anyway, right? So it's just a really powerful way for me to be able to share the insights at a cheaper rate than what it would cost if you were doing this privately as such. So yeah, that's about all from me. I have included the link in the description below. So if those are on YouTube, yeah, you'll see the link in the description. You can click on that and yeah, it'll either show you the 100 USD link if you got it in time, and if not, it's going to give you a link to the the 200 USD price. So hopefully got on the early bird one, but either way, yeah, really excited to see you in the live workshop. Or for those who end up watching the recording, it'll be great to see you transform your chess improvement journey, and just get rid of all of the frustration that you are feeling right now around improving at chess, and being able to just save like hundreds and hundreds of hours you would otherwise spend just wasting your time on things that aren't going to help, and be able to focus on things that are actually going to give you the chess improvement that you deserve for your effort. That's all from me, GMX signing out, and yeah, I'll see you in the workshop. Take care.